Welcome back to the Rules of Engagement. Before I jump into analyzing last for Stephano game number 3, let me remind you guys, if you're wondering what type of career you want to do in your future, what type of jobs you want to get, if you think game design might be cool, a way to get some information about potential future jobs in that and how to get educated to then get those jobs, www.fullsail.edu/MLG. They can offer you information about the different programs in game design, audio engineering, video production, 3D animation, a lot of different cool features that are all used to produce high-quality video games, and are actually also used in esports. At MLG, we have a lot of Full Sail graduates working for us doing some of our production stuff, so great way to get some more information about that type of field, fullsail.edu/MLG. Now let's move on to last for Stephano, game number 3. This game is a little bit of a different pace game, I guess you could say. Opens with a proxy T-Rex, so we'll talk about that and some key things to look out for. Then we'll talk some more about T-Rex. But then we're going to talk about making gambles and when it's right to make a gamble and what type of gambles are intelligent gambles. And then we're going to talk about how to safely end the game. From when you're ahead, how to try to end the game with as minimal risk as possible. So now we're going to jump into the game. We're going to start early in the game, the 3-minute mark. We're going to see last, of course, is doing proxy T-Rex, right? So we're going to just play this game here. And the important thing about proxy T-Rex, when you're microing it, right, you want to lure the Zerg drones as far away from their base as possible for 2 reasons. 1, the further away from the base the drones are, the longer it's going to take the Zerglings that are produced over here to come and support them. 2, if the drones want to go back to mining, it's going to take them longer to get back to mining. 3, your Marines that are coming from your proxy barracks will get to shoot the drones faster the further away they are. So your first bunker, it's often good to build a bunker not right by the hatchery, a little bit further back. Because 1, either they pull drones and they're fighting far away from their rally and closer to your rally, or number 2, they don't pull drones. You get Marines inside this bunker, and once you get Marines inside here, all of a sudden it's very hard for them to stop this bunker because you can have Marines here shooting them that just pull back to the bunker where they go after the Marines. So anytime you can pull the drones this far back is great. Now, of course, Stephano ideally doesn't want to let any Marines get inside this bunker, so he's trying to block them with the drones and be taking a lot of losses because it's not until 4:30 that the Zerglings can come to assist them because of how far back the drones have had to be pulled. So if you're doing that T-Rex, try to get the Zerg as far away from the base as possible. Yes, the Zerg player can still defend it, as we can see here. A couple of Zerglings were able to take out this bunker. This bunker without repair is going to go down. But let's look at the situation, right? What's the situation? 9 drones are left for the Zerg. That's not very many drones. He's in a very bad spot. If he had one more SCV, came from somewhere to repair this bunker, it would have been even worse. As it is, though, it's still not great. The Zerg economy is terrible. He can't even really afford to build a spine core, right? So this is where I'm going to pause it real quick and talk about a risk that Stephano's taking, right? Look at the unit tab from Stephano. We can see right now his unit tab is 10 Zerglings and 12 drones. He's sending his entire force out on the map right over here, right? And why is he going down this route? He wants to sneak up and attack last. Now, what's he thinking? Stephano says, I know I'm behind. I've got to find a way to catch back up. The Terran player, very likely, Terran player says, I can't do much more damage. Zerg might be building a spawn. They've got a couple queens out. They might be flying their barracks back to their base. So right now, he might only have the 3 to 4 Marines that he had during the rush. And his barracks would be halfway back to his base. I can get in there and do a lot of damage before the barracks get back to the base. And you won't have enough Marines to deal with me, right? That's the philosophy of this gamble. Now, the risk is if your opponent didn't stop at 4 Marines. They just constantly are producing on these 2 barracks. In fact, he has a lot of Marines, right? Now, these Zerglings will still do great damage, right? They're still going to get in here. They're going to cancel this command center. And then they're going to force a lot of SCVs to be pulled to repair these depots because there's no Marines back here, right? So cancel command center, SCVs having to repair. But this is where the gamble didn't pay off. There's not 4 Marines, there's 10 Marines. And unfortunately, 10 Marines is too much for the Queen and a few drones to handle. If it was 4, he could have fought that off with losing maybe like 1 drone or even just waited for Zerglings. But with this many Marines, unfortunately, the gamble didn't pay off. And the Marines are able to do a lot of damage here. And I mean, just the mining time loss, the drones, that's 3 drones, 4 drones, 5 drones. The Queen went down. The Marines aren't even done yet, right? There's still not enough units to fight. You have to wait for some more guys to return home. The Marines are in a position where this army would be, he'd lose so many units trying to fight this. He's actually in a position where he has to wait for the hatchery to die to let the broodlings kill the Marines, right? I mean, that's where he's at. So yes, he's going to eventually clean up the Marines, but he lost the hatchery. So the good news is he forced the cancel. He's forced a lot of lost mining time, and he slowed Lass's economy down from the mining time and the fact that Lass had to rebuild his command centers. The bad news is he took a lot more damage because these barracks weren't flying back home. They're just kind of hanging out, building more Marines, and there's more Marines than he thought there'd be. So not going forward, Lass is at a massive advantage, right? 3 CCs, he's got more workers, and he's got 3 mules, right? Or he's soon to have 3 mules. I mean, Zerg will probably get ahead in workers if he actually doesn't have the queen, so Zerg can't even really get ahead in workers because he has no win checks. He will eventually, but with 3 mules, once Lass, gets his production up, he can build a big army and go to proceed to win a game. But now this is what's cool. Lass is way ahead, but it's not instantly over. The food counts are still close. Zerg can still make a comeback. How does Zerg make a comeback? Zergs tend to make comebacks in one of 2 ways, right? The Zerg will either go for speed, build a whole ton of speedings right now. He'll build literally 40 speedings. He'll stay on 20 drones, go up to 40 speedings, and he'll just position his speedings like 1 speeding here, 1 speeding here, and the rest of the pack will hide in a corner. And then if Terran moves out with 15 Marines and 1 siege tank or something, the speedings will run and kill that whole army. And then even if Terran and then kill a Terran expansion, Terran has to go back to the main. Zerg has map control. They can then make a comeback. Excuse me. That's one way Zerg can try to make a comeback, slaughtering a Terran army by hiding a lot of speedlings. What's the other way? The other way is make no units and build nothing but drones, right? Now, if a Terran moves out with that 15 Marine, 1 tank force, that'll beat the nothing but drones build. They'll lose to the speedlings. That's not good. That's a 50-50, right? Lass doesn't want to take a 50-50. He's winning the game. He should take a 99-1, percent-wise to win. So what does he do? He moves out with an attack that's supported by medevacs and is highly mobile. This way, it's slightly later than a Marine tank timing, but barely later. And if Stephano makes no units, nothing but drones, he dies. He wins. If Stephano hit 40 speedlings, these units get picked up, right? They get picked up in the medevacs. The speedlings counter. He temporarily gives up his natural, but then the units will just come back here and he'll easily retake within a second. And he'll be way ahead because he'll be playing, a lot of workers versus 20, right? So he wins either way. Very, very safe. If you're ahead versus Zerg, you want to win the game, don't push out with Marine tank forces. I can't tell you how many pro games I've seen where Terrans have gone ahead and thrown away 3 different Marine tank forces, and then the Zergs come back from just killing so many armies. Move out with an army like this to keep the Zerg honest. Stephano, of course, was trying to get back by being a little bit greedy, which was a decent gamble, but a push out like this will punish him. He's just killed too much, right? The game's over from here. So, push out like this. If the Zerg made too many drones, like in this game, you kill them. If they cut drones to go for some crazy speeding attack, maybe even make banings later, you can pick up the units, bring them back home, and you'll have plenty of units for defense. As opposed, if you moved out without medevacs, you'll lose those units, and your defense might be too weak to stop their counterattack. So, cool things about this game. 2 racks, get the Zerg as far away from their base as possible. The Zerg player, if you end up behind, trying to gamble smart. Stephano did a very intelligent gamble. Unfortunately, Latch played in such a way that there was no way Stephano could make that comeback. He played a very, very solid follow-up, very, very safely ending the game. This wraps up analysis game number 3 between Lass and Stephano. Take a short break and then be on to the Q&A.